You're in a Miami courtroom. It's January 2003.
Everybody has their report.
Michael Siebert, dubbed the daycare rapist, has finally been arrested. He's now facing a judge.
But I did not commit these crimes.
His trail of DNA, though, tells a much different story.
It was very brutal.
Diehl Weil was one of his victims.
He beat me and he tortured me.
She and her 2 kids were abducted, driven deep into the Everglades, and abused for hours. Julie's children, 3 and 8 months, were forced to watch.
He raped me again, in total that day 4 times. 4 times to think that you're gonna die, or to be so horrified by what's going into your children's minds that you want to die. It was completely devastating.
Come with us tonight at 11 as we discover this so-called rape kit backlogged. It's happening right here in South Florida. I'm Shannon Cake, WPTV News Channel 5. You're in a Miami courtroom. It's January 2003.
Everybody has their report.
Michael Siebert, dubbed the daycare rapist, has finally been arrested. He's now facing a judge.
But I did not commit these crimes.
His trail of DNA, though, tells a much different story.
It was very brutal.
Diehl Weil was one of his victims.
He beat me and he tortured me.
She and her 2 kids were abducted, driven deep into the Everglades, and abused for hours. Julie's children, 3 and 8 months, were forced to watch.
He raped me again, in total that day 4 times. 4 times to think that you're gonna die, or to be so horrified by what's going into your children's minds that you want to die. It was completely devastating.
But Siebert was about to pay for his crimes because a tiny piece of his DNA turned up on Julie's shirt.
Capturing my rapist gave me my life back. DNA was the key to me, not only to get a conviction, but for me to go outside of my house, because now I have an identity on this person. It saved my life.
Most of us probably assume that when a crime occurs like rape, evidence is gathered and then tested for DNA. But that's not always the case. DNA testing is expensive and time-consuming. And if police or prosecutors don't think they have a strong case, DNA testing may never occur. The Contact 5 investigators have learned this can be especially true in rape cases. And according to the federal government, as many as 400,000 rape kits or evidence from a rape crime have never been processed. So you're saying there's DNA sitting on shelves across this country?
Yes.
And it's never been entered into a system?
It's never been entered into a system.
Victims advocates call it the rape kit backlog.
We aggressively pursued the appropriate solution.
Just this year in Houston, 6,000 backlogged rape kits were found sitting in police evidence rooms. The mayor ordered them all tested. With 300 done so far, 16 rapists have been found in CODIS, the national DNA database that tracks criminals. That's pretty significant, is it not?
I think any hit is significant to a case. We could have one case go into CODIS, and if it hits, it could be significant.
Catherine Cawthron has been cracking forensic cases for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office for 10 years.
It's emotional, but it's very rewarding.
Armed with test tubes and brushes, Cawthron combs evidence, searching for 16 genetic markers that make up a suspect's unique DNA.
It can be difficult, and it can take many hours.
It typically means only solid cases with victim cooperation get pushed for DNA testing.
We could run them all, but then the DNA profiles may never go anywhere. It has to aid in the investigation.
At the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, the Contact 5 investigators found there are 60 rape kits that are not in line for testing. St. Lucie County found 92. Martin counted 51. And Okeechobee County has 5 sitting on shelves in storage. To our south in Miami-Dade, where Michael Siebert brutalized Diehl Weil, every single rape kit here, no matter the strength of the case, gets pushed through to DNA testing.
All they were missing was the identity in the system.
Because Miami-Dade tested the rape kits from every one of Michael Siebert's victims, his DNA trail lit up when he was picked up for another crime. Michael Siebert will stay in jail now forever, sentenced to 7 life terms.
The DNA matched the DNA from another crime.
Julie has taken her story to Capitol Hill. Her testimony pushed a bill that became law and now pushes money to agencies with untested rape kits.
It seems like a lot of work and it seems like a lot of money, but when you consider what you're doing to prevent future harm and to get justice for a family, it's invaluable.